for the serious gamer.
Hey guys, SpiderBite, NextGenTactics.com. This is a PS3 error 8001050F fix. If you're having problems just like I did with your old style PS3, this is what you're going to do to fix it. Unless you want to wait, and hopefully it'll be fixed in another 12 hours or so when we get to March the 2nd. We're going to rip off our sticker here. Note that that will void your warranty. And we're going to pop off this little rubber cap, and there's a screw underneath that you have to take out in order to get the top off of your PS3. And basically the problem is because of a leap year issue. The PS3, I believe the firmware is actually stating it's February 29th, and then when you're trying to hook up online, it doesn't like February 29th, and you can't actually set that firmware clock. The clock you can set is in the software, and that's the only thing you can do. So that's why there's a problem right now with the old style PS3s. So what we're doing here, what you basically need to do is to unplug the battery that maintains that clock. Unplug it, plug it back in, and that's it. Unfortunately, it takes a little bit to get to the battery, so that's why we're taking this thing apart. So we pulled the sticker off, we pulled that little rubber foot out, and we pulled that one screw out, and that brings off the top cover. Now we have to undo a bunch of screws on the main cover here. They actually are all labeled with arrows. What you want to do is keep close track of where the screws are that you take out and where they go back, because there are quite a few that you actually have to take out here, and I actually end up missing a few when I go to put them back. Not that I really care. I don't really care. I just wanted to get this thing up and running, and I wasn't going to wait around for Sony to say nothing, which they have been for the past 12 hours that they're looking into it. They've actually recently just issued a statement saying it will be fixed within 24 hours. But you know what? I'm pretty sure that once your clock rolls over to March 1st, which is really March 2nd, but seeing as the internal clock thinks it's February 29th, once it rolls over to March 1st, it's probably going to fix itself. But you'll still be out by a day in the firmware, which isn't really a big deal, I don't think. So I think their statement saying, oh, it's going to be fixed within the next 24 hours, they're basically betting on the fact that, the clocks are going to go over to March 1st and it's going to fix itself. Not that they're applying a freaking fix for this stupid thing. But it looks pretty bad on Sony, if you ask me. But, I mean, you can't even play some of the offline games. It's just ridiculous. So we're just removing the rest of the screws off the front cover here, and I think I actually skipped a couple spots here. I tried to speed it up a little bit, but you'll get the gist of it. Like I said, just make sure you keep track of the screws and what screws go where. And when you took that sticker off that voided the warranty, you can actually try and take it off with a sharp knife or something, because I'm pretty sure if you put everything back exactly as it is, and you can actually reapply that sticker, and it'll look like as if you've never opened your PS3. So a couple of these screws are actually kind of tiny ones that you have to pull out either with a pair of needle nose pliers, or if your screwdriver happens to be magnetized like mine is, you can get those tiny screws out. Again, keep track of it. You'll notice, well, actually I don't even show it, but I end up with two screws left over, plus a little clip that goes in for one of the screws. So, okay, so we got them all out, and what you want to do is take the cover off from the front, at the back. Push it off at the back, and it takes a little bit. You got to wiggle it a little bit, and it'll eventually pop up right there. And then you want to flip it up until it unlatches at the front, and then you can take it off. And there's actually one little ribbon cable you have to pull off here. There's a little clip that's on the top cover. There's a little black clip you got to flip over. I don't actually show it. Right on the top cover, there's a little black clip. You just flip it over with a screwdriver or your fingernail, and that ribbon pulls right out. Here's the Blu-ray drive, so we're going to take that off, and that just pops off. And there's two connectors. There's one connector here, and there's another ribbon cable underneath. And again, it's got another flap, a black flap, actually not attached to the Blu-ray drive, but attached to the main board on the PS3. You just flip back that flap, and the ribbon cable pops right off. Okay, so we got the Blu-ray drive out. Next thing is the power supply, which is the next unit on the left. There are, I believe, about 6 screws holding the power supply in, plus at least, I think there's 2 connectors. So you want to take those screws out and disconnect the connectors. There's one at the front of the unit that pulls out towards the front, or sorry, towards the rear. It's the rear of the unit. And then there's one on the side where I'm taking the screws out right now that just basically unplugs. Okay, so we got the screws out for the power supply. We're just going to pull it off here, and we're going to disconnect the 2 connectors. Again, the one right there just pulls out, and the front one, there's actually a little a clip you got to push down on the top of it, and it'll pull right out. Okay, so now we got to take the main board out, and there are quite a few screws actually, and right there's a circuit board, so you got to undo those screws, and there's actually a little ribbon cable on there that you have to disconnect initially as well. So we're going to take all these screws out, and again, just keep track of where they go or where you took them out from. Now, again, you guys might want to wait. Like I said, I mean, do this at your own risk, but you guys might want to wait until the clock rolls over again. Another, it's right now, it's March 1st around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so if you're willing to wait another, 11 hours or whatever, just to see what happens and see if it resolves itself. Like I said, I doubt there's an official fix. I'm pretty sure they're just betting on it resolving itself in the next 12 hours. So, like I said, you can wait, but I didn't want to wait. We got Bad Company coming out on March 2nd, and there's no way I was going to wait to see what happens, just in case, because then I'd be kind of screwed, because we want to do videos on Bad Company 2, and that's going to set us back, just in case, in the odd chance that this issue does not resolve itself, and Sony cannot resolve it quickly. They're going to need to resolve it, because this is going to happen again in probably in 2014. But we'll see. So there's a little black cable you have to disconnect, so you actually just pull it right up to disconnect it. And then what we're going to do is pull out the main board. But we actually there's a couple screws that we actually missed. There's one at the front of the unit there, and there's a couple more on that little circuit board that's on the right hand side at the front. So we're going to get those as well. Yeah, this doesn't look very good on Sony. It's unfortunate. We thought all these date issues would be resolved after the year 2000, when everybody was freaking out, like banks especially, freaking out over 2-digit date codes, and the years rolling over to 2000. Craziness. Okay, so there's another screw at the back for the power supply. We took that one off, and I believe we're ready to pull the main board out. And the battery that you want to disconnect is going to be actually on the left-hand side. You got to pull out that little flap that's on the left-hand side. You'll see it right there. So just pull that out, then you can get the main board out. And the battery is the green one that is right at the top right. So all you got to do is pull that little connector off. And it's actually kind of hard to do with your fingers. Just use a screwdriver, which is what I end up doing. Pop it off, wait a few seconds, wait like 30 seconds or so, and then pop it right back on. And then put everything back together. I'm not going to show how to put it all back together. If you want, just run the video in reverse or something. I don't know. Anyways, that's it. And as soon as you restart your PS3, it'll ask you to enter the date and time. Just enter it correctly, March 1st or whatever date you happen to be watching this. And away you go. You're back online. Everything's good. So hope that helps. And again, do it at your own risk. But it was pretty easy, actually. So that's it. Spider Bite out for NextGenTactics.com.